Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are digging into Alpha School down in Austin, Texas. They're tackling a really tough problem.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out how you get, like, super rigorous academics, but also have kids who are genuinely happy, genuinely motivated to be there.
It sounds almost contradictory, doesn't
Oh,
it?
it really does. The co-founder, Joe Lehman, his big goal was, well, to make a school that kids actually liked more than summer vacation.
More than vacations, serious.
Seriously. And apparently, the data, or at least the data they've shared, backs it up. Students are doing better academically than their peers, and they're apparently asking to skip summer breaks sometimes.
Okay, that's wild.
Uh,
So what's the secret here? What are they doing differently?
Well, their whole argument is that, all the fancy ed tech tools, that's only about 10% of the solution,
Only 10%, so the other 90.
is what they call their motivation formula. It's all about structuring things to keep kids engaged. That's what we really want to unpack today.
Right, the motivation formula. Let's get into it. Where do we start?
Okay, so pillar one is all about efficiency. Basically, giving kids their time back.
Time back. How does that work?
They run their entire core academic day in just 2 hours.
2 hours for everything. Math, reading, all of it.
For the core subjects, yeah. They use 4 25-minute focus blocks. Like the Pomodoro technique.
Okay. 25 minutes on, short break, repeat 4 times.
Exactly. And once you finish those blocks, successfully complete the work. They visualize it like closing rings on a smartwatch.
Uh-huh.
You earn 4 hours of freedom for the afternoon,
Hmm.
creative workshops, passion projects, whatever.
4 hours back just for finishing the core work efficiently.
Right. And Lumet claims that single piece, the reward for focus being autonomy and time, has the biggest impact on keeping kids engaged.
Okay, I can see how that would be motivating. But only 2 hours. Isn't there a risk kids just rush through it, maybe not learn it deeply?
That's a fair question. And that brings us to pillar two, mastery. This is key.
Mastery. So not just getting it done, but getting it right.
Exactly right. See, most schools are okay if you get, say, 70% on a test. You move on.
Yeah, the classic C grade. Passable.
But that leaves holes, right? Those little gaps in understanding build up. They call it Swiss cheese knowledge.
Huh, I like that. Swiss cheese knowledge.
Alpha's different. They demand at least 90% mastery before you can advance to the next concept. No exceptions.
90% or higher. That sounds demanding.
It is demanding. But the idea is it builds this positive loop.
Yeah.
You gain competence, which builds confidence, which makes you more willing to tackle the next challenge. You avoid those foundational gaps.
You mentioned an example of this, didn't you? Something about the SAT.
Yeah, it's pretty striking. They had a student stuck around 740 in SAT math. Pretty good, but stuck.
Okay.
The system they used pinpointed the issue back to a missing basic fact-fluency concept from, like, third grade, something fundamental.
From third grade. Wow.
Yeah. They fixed that one gap, drilled that specific skill, and the student score jumped almost immediately to 790.
Just like that. From fixing one old gap.
That's the power of mastery, they argue. It prevents future roadblocks.
Okay, so you have intense focus for 2 hours, rewarded by freedom, but you must achieve high mastery. How do they keep that intense focus from just becoming boring or stressful?
Right. That's where pillars 3 and 4 come in. Personalization and gamification.
Ah, the tech part, the 10%.
Well, yeah, but it's how they use the tech. They have this proprietary AI called the Incept engine.
Incept engine, what does it do?
It tailors the lessons, but not just based on what you haven't mastered yet. It also looks at your interests.
Oh, interesting. So it connects the material to things you actually care about.
Precisely. So if you're struggling with, say, fractions, but you love soccer, it might use goal shot ratios to explain it.
Okay, I see.
Or maybe explain World War I by framing it like some kind of Taylor Swift drama analogy, if that's what resonates.
Yeah.
Making it relevant.
Taylor Swift drama for WWI, that's creative. And the gamification.
That's woven in too. You have those visual rings closing as you master concepts. There's even a waste meter that shows you if you're spending too much time scrolling off task.
A waste meter? Ouch. Gentle nudge, maybe?
Sort of. And kids earn alpha bucks for hitting milestones.
Alpha bucks. Like school currency.
Yeah, but with a twist. They can spend it on supplies for those afternoon passion projects, art stuff, tech kits. Or they can invest it.
Invest it. Like in a pretend stock market.
A real internal market, yeah. But here's the kicker. If they want to pull their investment out early, there's a 50% penalty.
50%? Wow. So they're learning about market volatility and delayed gratification in, like, elementary school.
You got it. Real-world financial lessons baked in.
Okay, this is intricate. But it's not all tech and systems, right?
Yeah.
What about the teachers?
Crucial. That's pillar 5. High-impact guides. They don't call them teachers, they're guides.
Guides! And they're important.
Hugely. Alpha puts a big emphasis here. Guides are paid a minimum of $100,000.
$100 minimum. That definitely signals high expectations.
High expectations, exactly. But also high support.
Mm.
The model is relentless emotional support combined with holding kids to really high standards.
How do they measure that support aspect?
They literally survey students. One of the questions is basically, will this guide transform my life?
Whoa, that's a high bar. Transform your life.
It is. But that combination of high support and high challenge is what lets them do these amazing afternoon workshops.
Like what kind of things are happening in that 4 hours of freedom?
We heard about 5th graders running a food truck that was actually profitable. 2nd graders applying principles from the book Atomic Habits to train for a 5K race. Middle schoolers managing those alpha bucks investment portfolios we talked about.
So practical, real-world skills, not just abstract learning.
Very much so. Applying knowledge.
Okay, it sounds impressive, ambitious. Does it actually work? What are the results?
The results they shared are pretty compelling. Remember, only 2 hours of academic seat time per day. They showed roughly double the typical student growth on the MAP test. That's a standard measure of academic progress year over year.
Double the growth in just 2 hours a day.
And get this, in one cohort, 100% of their students scored a 5, the top score, on the AP World History exam.
100% scored a 5. That's almost unheard of. How much prep time?
Less than 75 hours total, apparently, which is significantly less than typical AP prep.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway for you listening to this?
I think the main point is that motivation isn't just some, fluffy, nice-to-have thing. Alpha treats it as something you can actually engineer, something systematic.
Right. It's the engine, they seem to argue, that makes the personalization and the mastery actually stick. It's not just about the AI or the 90% rule.
Exactly. It's the whole integrated system.
And thinking bigger picture, connecting this to where education might be heading.
Yeah, Alpha's leadership raises this really provocative question. If AI tutors get super cheap, almost free, and kids can master core subjects in just, say, 2 hours a day,
And what?
then what do schools do with the rest of the day? How should we really be spending children's time?
That is a huge question, a potential paradigm shift for what school even means.
It really is. And that's probably the thought we should leave you with today.